Well, how's it going, everybody? It is the YouTubes. It is Dylan Talks Tone on Monday night at 9 p.m. We got a little fun thing happening here this week. Let's see. Before we get to that stuff, let's talk real quick about this show tonight is brought to you by Randy's Luthier's Palace, a guitar repair and setup shop in Greenfield, Indiana. With over 40 years of experience, Randy can take care of all your setup needs, your fret leveling, rewiring new pots, Floyd Rose stuff, anything you want. This guy's a really cool guy, too. Check out Randy's work on his Facebook page at facebook.com/guitarphysician and on his website at randyslutherpalace.com. I want to introduce you to two of my very good friends. You're probably going to see mostly the back of my head tonight. I'm over here, but because of the way cameras and everything works, so yeah, this is me. Leslie's over here, and we have our friends Jason Lee Sabo, sometimes Y, that's what Jason sometimes Y Sabo, and Dave Furman over here of the band.
What's happening, YouTubers?
Yeah, what's going on? Let's tell you what. Let's bring you all up just a little bit more. Okay.
All right.
And of the band Whiskey Run. In fact, you know what? I even made a little lower third so we can have your little name on there.
Awesome, man.
How about that, right?
Awesome.
We did that ahead of time, so we're ready. Leslie, tell everybody what they can do to be a part of what we are doing.
So I'm assuming most people are on youtube.com/Dylan Talks Tone /live is where you can find us right now. There will be a chat going on and you can come hang out and chat, ask questions. We're going to be talking mostly with the band. And if you're listening to this on the replay, you can feel free to comment as well.
Awesome. Very, very cool. So, I just want to say thanks for coming by. We're drinking beer. We're got guitars. This is something that we've not really ever done this way, so I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely, man. This is great.
If you can't hear somebody or something, speak up in the chat because we are doing this live and alive. So, Jason and Dave, how long have you guys been doing the thing that you do?
Well, separately, we've been playing music for a long time. I started playing guitar when I was about 12 or so, and I started a band when I was about 16, and I was in that band called Edison Project from about 16 to 24, and then after I was 24, that's when me and Jay hooked up. We've been together ever since.
Lovers.
So, and I think Jay goes back farther than that, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than that, man. I started playing guitar when I was around 16 years old, too. I wanted to play drums initially. So I played air drums and just kind of screwed around a little bit with
drums?
Air drums. That was it.
Really?
I wasn't any good at air drums.
He was a total badass, too.
It was like just Tom Sawyer most of the time, just that one riff all the way down. And I thought, and I could never get it right. So I said, nope, I'm not going to do it. So one of my good friends, he's actually back local in town. His name is Dwayne Brock. Gave me my first guitar. He showed me my first chords, and that was it, man. I was hooked.
Wait,
and
what? Wait.
Yes, sir.
Dwayne Brock showed you your first chords.
You sure did.
Wow.
You sure did.
For those of you that don't know, I played in a band with Dwayne Brock for quite a while too.
Yep.
He's a fan. He's a fantastic, faithful to everybody who's his friend guy.
Yeah, Dwayne's a great guy. He had just moved into town from Texas, and we instantly hit it off. Became great friends, and he played guitar and he played well. And man, he moved away a couple of years later, and I was distraught, and he left me his guitar. And after he showed me some chords, and that was it. So I sort of vowed to him and everybody else that I was going to learn how to play. And I think the first song I learned how to play was Day Tripper. I'll tell you why, just real quick, and I'll speed this up. My mother, I wanted a smaller guitar. This was like a Gibson Explorer type of guitar, and it was really heavy. And she said, I'll tell you what, if you learn Day Tripper, I will buy you any guitar that you want and any amp. So that was it. It was history. So then progressing on to that, I was in another speed metal band when I was about 18 years old.
naturally.
Didn't even have a name. We played Barbecue Pit, I think, a couple times over there by Lake Olmsted. Then I managed a local band called People Who Must that had some minor success. Then I was actually invited to play in the touring band. Then Dave and I hooked up. Well, I was in other bands as well. Sabo and the Scorchers, which was basically a southern rock kind of tribute band. Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker
Total
stuff.
badasses.
Yeah, great band.
Michael Batamy, Brooks Andrews.
That's right.
Russell Jarrett.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's nobody sucks in that band.
Yeah, man, it was great, and we did that, man, for a long time. And
Well, then Jay decided to take a break,
I did.
and I took his entire band.
Yep. Yeah, they did the exact same songs.
I formed Dave Furman and Whiskey Run. And then Jay was like, all right, I'm ready to play again. And I was like, all right, you guys are fired.
And that's how Whiskey Run.
So that's how Whiskey Run
Run.
became what
Whiskey
it became.
Run.
Yeah.
And so now in real life, one of your main gigs is Jason. You are also a talent buyer. You're a
Yes, I
book.
am.
You book bands,
Yes, I am.
right?
There's a talent buyer, booking agent, and then you have, but people get that confused with a promoter per se and a band manager. But a talent buyer, I'm hired by a company to strictly book entertainment for them, and that's what a talent buyer does strictly.
Right.
They buy the talent for the room that they buy talent for, and I get a monthly salary by each venue that I do.
As opposed to a booking agent
Agents.
who would say, I represent Dylan,
Right.
and I book
You
you
find
in
me
all
gigs.
these
That's right.
places.
Mhm.
That's right. A talent buyer just buys for one specific place
Place
or
or
multiple
group of
ones,
places.
but a group
Yep.
of, you know.
Yep. So this was going to be kind of one of our fun little things. And if anybody on the internet has a question for these guys, one of the reasons we have them here is they have an EP coming out. We're going to talk about recording. We're going to talk about playing live versus a duet, because they play a full band and they also do this duet thing with the two acoustics like you see here. And then also kind of not only recording versus playing live, but also if you're trying to, what if you're trying to get a gig? What if you just put together some music and you're trying to get a gig? Like, what are some things that somebody who's never done this before can say, Jason, I'd like to play in your venue. What questions are you going to ask him?
First question would be, what type of music do you play? One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone sends me something, but there aren't any links to it. I can't hear their music. I don't know. I don't see band pictures. I don't know what kind of gear they play. I don't know anything. They'll just say, hey, Jason, I would love to come play my venue. Just because they know me. And a lot of times, or if they don't know me, they're given my name by somebody else. They'll say, somebody referred me, and that's it. And that's I mean, it drives me nuts. So a band starting out, put together something, even if it's basic, put together a couple pictures, sit your camera. Technology today is so easy. Put your cell phone in the corner of a room and have a song or two. Tell me about yourself, and let me know the songs you play. Send me a set list. That's really the start of where a band needs to start to branch out to book rooms.
Especially these days,
It's too easy.
If they don't at least show up with, here's my Instagram, here's my YouTube, here's my Facebook,
Exactly.
here's
That's
the
right.
places that I've played recently.
That's right.
It's very easy, but I think a lot of people, we talk about this a lot, like using social media to promote ourselves before we ever get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people don't build that. They don't work at building that good picture of themselves. That
Right.
the resume isn't just the list of places you've played. It's anymore, right?
Right.
It's
That's right.
it's the video content. It's your YouTube videos. It's your
subscribers.
Yep, it shows people how professional you are, or how, at least, even if you're not a veteran professional, you are making the effort to be, and you're
That's right.
trying to present yourself that way. That makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
I would say one of the main things too is that when somebody asks you, what kind of music do you play? Something as simple as that, right? The one thing that you should not do is say like, oh, we sound like ourselves. We sound like rock and roll. we're totally different. You're not.
Right. It's been done.
You're not. It's been done. And people like association. So if you say we're a cross between the Rolling Stones and the Killers, that piques my interest, right? You're like, oh, cool.
Oh, well, I haven't heard that combo before.
Some classic rock action with the guitars, maybe a keyboard player in the band. Cool, right? But keep it simple. Like, don't list 10 bands, something like that. But give someone a point of reference, right? Because if you don't, then you could be anywhere on the map.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm a cross between Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Metallica, and
exactly.
And Flogging Molly.
There you go.
Oh, perfect. I can hear that in my head.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty crazy, man. But also the venue. My venues are more cover based.
Right.
I do accept originals, and I encourage bands to play originals. My thing is 3 covers per original. So that way, in a full night, if you can get to about 6 to 8 original songs throughout the night, you're able to sell merch. Well, I've had bands come in and play 3 originals in 1 cover, and the place clears out. Mm-hmm. Again, my rooms that I handle are more cover based. I have handled rooms in the past that are all original.
Yeah.
And that's when they do play covers, you're booed.
Right.
But again, either way, but have a product, man. At least something for me to look at. So I can have a basis to go on whether or not you're a good fit for the room.
Be a product.
Well, yeah.
See, and this brings up
Getting deep.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's the Rolling Stone thing. Mick Jagger said, "Do I think the Rolling Stones is a good band name? I think the Rolling Stones is a good brand name."
See, and the thing is that when I bring this up, people they go ape nuts because. Oh, I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to blah, 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 blah.
That's bullshit.
But
It is, totally.
Well, the bottom line is you're trying to sell out.
Yeah.
You're trying to fill the room.
Yeah.
And so, like you say, it is a product. You're trying to, I always tell people, the reason these people drove out on a rainy Friday night is because they didn't want to be somewhere else. And they paid to escape from whatever they're escaping from.
That's right.
You help them do that, and that's your product.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you hope by the end of the night they are satisfied and happy, and most of the time they are.
Yep.
And they'll do it again, time and time again.
I mean, we play rooms where we do just originals, and we play rooms where we don't play a single original. It really is. It's a. You have to be present in where you are. And you are hired to do a job.
That's right.
Right? Especially if you have a guarantee. If you have a guarantee, you have to know the place that you're playing beforehand. And you play to entertain. I'm an entertainer. Jay's an entertainer.
Yep.
So you play what people want to hear. They came for a good time. Give them what they want.
I have a good time playing
want.
music with you, buddy.
Me too, pal.
Love you, pal.
Yep.
I mean, it really is.
He's like, whatever.
Whatever.
My point is that you have to play to the room, which is what we say that all the time. If somebody wants to hear Sweet Home Alabama, and it's that's their jam, it's my jam, man.
It happens.
A
lot.
Play it.
Play it.
I mean, like, why would you be above that?
Right.
I really don't understand that at all. If someone wants to hear Wagon Wheel, that's a big point of contention right now.
It sure is.
If someone wants to hear Wagon Wheel, play Wagon Wheel. It's not going to suck the soul out of you. That's kind of ridiculous, and I think that's just mainly probably because we just like maybe been to the mountaintop and we're at the bottom again. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we've both done the original band thing before,
right?
And been artistic integrity, and I'm not going to play Sweet Home Alabama and all that, and then reality hits. And you're like, oh, we're like one in this huge, massive ocean of bands where the right guy has to be in the right room at the right moment to hear you. It's a stroke of luck. It really is.
But I will say this, too, that even the covers that we do, we put our own flair on.
Oh,
It's what we
Absolutely.
do, and hopefully it translates well to the other people that want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. There's. It's funny. The cover thing is interesting. We'll go around, because we go around and see a lot of music, and we know the covers that we're going to request when we come see you because we like the way we do them, because you do them different than somebody else does the same song.
Right.
Everybody has a flavor to it. So let's talk gear, because this is a gear show. Is anybody saying anything over there? They have any questions or anything?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope.
No, we haven't said anything interesting yet.
No. Let's talk about some cool
Let's
stuff.
talk about some cool stuff like gear. So obviously you're playing Gibsons with holes in them.
Yeah. Can you tell I play this thing much?
Yeah, right. And you play that all the time and sing,
Yes.
basically.
Yep.
And you play lots of guitars, but you're my favorite guitar. Your favorite guitar is my favorite guitar.
Oh yeah.
Wait, let me guess. It's the gold top.
It's the Gold Les Paul. And the thing is, and everybody that's listening right now, they know I can't stand Les Pauls. So they're like, wait, what? There's only one guitar in the world that would make me want a Les Paul, and it is that one, the one he owns. And if it's not that one, I don't want another one. It's that guitar. There's something about it. It is.
And I appreciate that. And there is something about it. I played a lot of different gold top Les Pauls looking for that particular sound and tone and feel. And, man, I got lucky. I got so lucky when I found it. And I've had it for a long time now. And I've worn paint off of it. And it's my number one guitar. It is a signature sound. And on the record, you'll hear that. But we actually talked about some things, too, in the studio versus my tone. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to that in a few minutes. But, that Les Paul, through my gear, through my amp, my fingers, is my tone.
And most of the time you play Dr. Z or that's mostly.
Yeah, most of the time I also play a deluxe reverb sometimes.
That's right.
Depending on the room or just depending on just to kind of change the tone up a little bit. But ultimately, man, I can play through any gear and dial it in, and it's going to sound just like me. That's ultimately what it is. I don't care what equipment it is. It's going to vary. It's going to have some variations of some tonal harmonic maybe, but ultimately I will dial that amp in or whatever gear I'm playing through, it would sound just like me. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is.
And that's really the reason why we are starting to do more of this stuff and talking about just inspiring people to play and getting away from, well, this guitar was built on a Thursday and it was raining outside between the temperatures of such and such, and that's why Jimmy Page sounded like this before he pooped. You know what I mean? I'm so done with all that stuff. And really it's just about how do we go out and do this for ourselves, right? And be inspired ourselves to play. And sometimes the gear does that. Sometimes you pick up a guitar and and the gear itself is like you slam that chord and that's inspiring. But then inspiring other people with our music. That's why I want to take this whole direction. Because of what you just said. You're just going to sound like you.
You are. However, the gold top does give me something on the inspiration side too, but it does give me something different.
Like a tingly feeling?
Yeah, it does.
Or is it more of a burn?
It's both. I've had it burn me. Burn. No, listen, I've had it burn me and I've had it tingle too. So, I've had both sensations. But it is. It's an older guitar. It was early 81 gold top, and it's got some special pickups in it. And the Tim Shaw pickups. I've played other gold tops. They didn't sound quite like that.
Same age as you.
Just that whole thing, man. I think the combination of just how they were wrapped and the guitar and the age and where it's been geographically, my DNA, I don't know. It's just got something different, though. I've played another 81 before.
Really?
Didn't sound anything like my guitar.
Yep.
It's like a fine wine.
It really is. It's just one of those things.
No, that's cool, man. Yeah. So you're recording a 4-song EP. Mm-hmm. I should know. I was there the other day and I can't remember.
Yeah.
There's going to be an underground music video, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're working on that. Cool. And then the other thing is, so I want to ask you, because I saw a bunch of discussion about this on the internets.
The interwebs.
Yeah. So what did you use amp-wise in the studio? Because I know you play the Dr. Z and you play your Fender. What did you use in the studio?
Man.
Well, let me field this one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So have you ever seen one of those little pods?
Yes.
The red things?
Yeah.
The whole album was recorded through one of those.
The Bean.
Just straight.
There's the Bean. 1.0. The Line 6 Pod 1.0.
Yep.
He's
got it out of his garage.
You are so much shit.
Never mind. Take it away, Jay.
You're so full of it, my man. So full of it.
What does your bass player play? I hear he's awesome.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, our bass player is Dave Plunkett.
Yeah, and Dave is awesome.
Yeah, he's got multiple.
He's
basses.
listening live. He's just
great.
calling himself out.
Of course he
Yeah,
is.
of course he is.
Yeah, we love Dave Plunkett.
I wonder what that bass guy plays.
I know what he's gonna play in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he plays a Hondo
What's that?
5-string.
He's gonna play something with Dylan pickups in it.
Hey,
Yes,
I'm
he
just
is.
saying, we've been
Yes, he
talking
is.
about that all weekend.
nice.
That's
dude,
great.
yeah.
Since we were in the
good.
studio last week.
Yeah.
I think he jerry-rigged a bass that's his favorite right now.
He did, man. He bought
That's
like a
the one he wants.
Yeah, he bought like an early '80s. I want to say like an '81 to '83 Squire, as a matter of fact. And the Squires back then was the first edition that Fender reached out to a different market. Like, if it wasn't the Fender American thing, it was an American guitar
Right.
or American parts, but they wanted to change the brand a little bit to sell it underpriced and sell more of them.
Yep.
Which is what every guitar and amp maker does. But he found a diamond in the rough on that one as well, and he basically rebuilt it. He put more different electronics on it, different bridges. What you would do with if you found a Squire that played great, or an old made in Japan Telecaster or Strat. I've got them, even Mexican made Teles and Strats.
Yeah, Mexi Tele. It's
Yep.
the best
You
electric I have.
You change some electronics. Sometimes, most of the time, you have to. At least that's the ones I've had. You change them, you build them back up, and they're great.
Yep, and I think he's got Seymour Duncan quarter pounders in it right now, and he said they're too hot. He said a lot of sound guys don't like it because it hits the
peaks.
compressor too hard, and it messes with it.
Right.
Yeah, and he's got. Thank you. Dave is a little heavy-handed on the bass.
He
know.
is.
He gets in, he gets on it.
So we're gonna do some nice. It's a precision. So we're gonna do just like a really vintage wound low output
Awesome
version of that.
sound great,
Yep.
He
And-
said hopefully Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, Dave.
Cool.
Hey, buddy.
We do have a question coming through Facebook when I posted a picture that they don't know I posted.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But can you talk about pay scale? Are you union? Pay scale for solo and going rate for night gigs?
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Well, first of all, this is the South, so there are no unions.
Well, this person is in the Northwest, so there you
Okay.
That
go.
would make sense.
So for us in the South, they don't really like unions down here. So there's no musicians union. However, there were a lot of guys that we know, just musicians in the area that have played with like James Brown and some of the other R&B acts that were union back in the day.
That's right.
And they're retired now, so they get money every month from their union dues from playing with James or whoever.
And there is a union side that's like stagehands
and stuff,
like
yeah.
that. And they, I don't know what that rate is or anything about it. I've heard, you go to a theater and play, and
Yeah.
their union, they make X amount of dollars and this and that. But
There definitely is in Charleston.
That's right.
Yeah, we know a couple of those guys that are in the union there.
Yeah,
as far as
actually,
musicians, though,
I've got a
there
friend that lives here, and he's stagehands union as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's go back to the early days of the 1930s. I think every man made $100 a gig, and it's still the same, pretty much. Things
Yeah.
really haven't changed.
Yeah.
That seems to be the basis of musicians. Of course, it varies a little bit, but it's a standard $100 a man. And then I think the more you play a room or the more you get invited back, your pay changes. When the rule of thumb is if you're engaged by a certain venue that wants to have you, you can name your own price because you're reaching out. If you choose to play for that price, that's good. If you choose to inflate your price to put you out of the ball game, that's your own hit too. So you have to find that comfortable medium. I'll let people know when they get out of the range. I'll let them know when they're at the top. Man, look, you can eventually get there, but you've got to prove yourself. You've got to show up. You've got to do. There is no calling in sick. We don't call in sick. I mean, I've played hundreds of gigs with the flu.
Yeah.
But if you prove yourself as a musician, no matter where you are, you go into that room and you do your job, you're going to get invited back.
Yeah.
So
You
let's
will be invited back.
and let's talk about that. When we talk about somebody who's working all the time, how many gigs did you play last month?
Oh wow.
Man, I don't know. We scaled way back.
Yeah, we did.
Have you?
This
Yeah.
year. Yeah. When I was in grad school, we were playing 5 nights a week.
We were. Yeah.
And I was going to class from 9 to 9, and then Jay would meet me somewhere in South Carolina, and we would play from 10 to 1.
Right.
And then I would drive back home, and then I would drive back to Columbia to go to school.
Yep. Road warriors. Man.
Wow.
So it was that was a tough year.
It was
but
tough.
We probably played 300 shows that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double and triple stacking gigs too.
With Dylan
cables.
Oh yeah, those cables. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those cables have hundreds of gigs on them.
Hundreds, man, hundreds.
They
But
do.
so back to the original question with the money and the pay scale thing. I would say, if you're just starting out in a market, and you said the person was in the Midwest.
Northwest.
Okay, sorry. I think a fair price, like if you're just starting out in a market for a duo, I would say $200, right? $100 a man. The room wants you back. Play it another time for $200. The third time back, ask for $250 or $300. It'll be like, you've seen from the last 2 times we played here, we've done great. The same people have come back to see us, and they're telling their friends, how about bumping us up another $50 or another $100, right? And so on and so forth. As time goes by, you get your rates up, right? And then after 3 years, 4 years probably, people start to hear about you, and they contact you. Like, I don't remember the last time we've cold called anybody.
It's been a long time.
So
we've actually reached out to a new venue because we just, again, people see you, then they take videos. Again, we're talking about technology and branding yourself. They see Whiskey Run, and they hear about it. We got to have that band, and that's kind of how it works. And then from that point forward, you just you pick and choose the rooms. And we've been fortunate. I mean, we pick and choose where we want to play, what markets we play, and it's been awesome to us.
Yep.
And that's really how you do it. I don't think there's really a formula to it. Just go in and work your butt off and improve yourself. And if they want to hear certain songs you don't know them, we go learn them.
yeah,
Right.
and be consistent. I mean, play consistently good. Play well. Sorry,
Or your best. Play your best.
Yeah, do your best.
Play your
and
best.
Do it every time. Leave no doubt. Like, I could have done that better. Do it right. Do it well every time, and people come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. But also, you don't want to be the guy. Say you're playing all over the Northwest, and you don't want to be the guy in the town that'll do a gig for $200 when everyone else is charging $400.
Right.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
It ruins everything for everybody.
It drags everybody
And don't
down.
just accept the $200 that the bar wants to pay you,
or free with
or
a bar
free.
tab. It happens.
Just because you really want to play. I mean, I get it. You really want to play, but you're really doing a disservice to all the musicians around you.
Right.
Yep.
So if there's a bar that's like, oh, you know what? They contact me and Jay on Facebook, and they're like, we really want to have you guys at our club. What do you guys charge? And we're like, okay, well, at this point, since we're talking about pay scale, so we're like $1,400 for the full band, $600 for duo. Okay, and he's like, oh, well, I got X and X band for $600, and we just say, great, hire them.
See how it is.
I love it.
Yep. No, you know your worth, right?
Yeah.
You
Know
got to
your
know
worth.
your worth.
Yeah,
We don't discount our products either.
No, we don't either.
because
But
if you do, that's what you're going to be paid
Right.
forever.
and that's how people are going to value you as a service
That's right.
too.
Right.
You got to remember that you're keeping people in their establishment if you're good.
Yeah.
And so it's a symbiotic relationship that everybody has to know the value of everybody there for it to really be good.
And that is a main point that you make there, that relationships are
Key.
the key
Yep.
to being in at least a regional act.
Yeah.
Because those people, I mean, your booking agents are going to be your friends. Don't be the guy that just like goes in, plays, gets paid, and leaves.
That's right.
I mean, you have
Social.
to spend some time there. Talk to the bartenders. If the bartenders and the servers like you,
Boom.
You're
You're
gonna
coming
come
back.
Yep.
You're coming back.
that's where it is.
It's not management because they're usually not there.
Yeah.
The agent's not there either. It's the bartenders and the servers.
Mm-hmm.
That's your ticket.
Because they're the ones that know the feel of the
Yeah,
room,
that's
and they're
right.
the
Thank
ones
them. Tell people to tip them.
Yes.
Yep.
Always, that's one thing we always do.
Yep. Well, do you guys want to play a song and then we'll talk about more stuff.
We're here to play music.
Sure, man.
Okay, sure, man.
Yeah,
You ain't getting no $1,400 from me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
Yeah, we just learned how to play guitar.
Yeah, this is my second day playing guitar.
All right.
All right, so this song is it's going to be on the EP.
Sure is.
And it's called Heart of the South.
Yeah. It's a little loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry about that. My voice
No,
is...
it's not going out like that,
It's fine
though.
over here. It's just
Yeah.
your ears are louder in your ears.
Okay.
No big deal. It sounds great.
So we got a question.
Okay.
Would you ask the singer to discuss the hole in his guitar? Willie Nelson's guitar has the same wound.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Well, I'll tell you.
It all started in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where it all started.
So I learned how to play guitar with one of those books from the 70s called Mel Bay Teaches Guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never had a guitar lesson, so I really don't know much about guitar. I don't know any theory or scales or anything like that. Now, when I learned how to play guitar, I just started strumming and playing, the way that I thought felt right to me, right? So I have a lot of wrist action when I play.
Wrist action.
And that's one of the ways you can tell someone who has had lessons and someone who hasn't is because they move their whole arm.
My dad always was on me about that.
When they play, right? And my arm doesn't move. It's all my wrist, right? So you can see from that pattern right there, I just beat this thing. I beat it up. I mean, she's a lady, but she likes it rough.
She loves it rough.
Because how old is it?
It's not old.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's not old.
Is it 2012, man?
I think it's a 2012 Gibson Songwriter Deluxe. I guess just from being on the road and stuff, the pick guard started to peel up, and so I just took it off. I just ripped it off one day.
And you can see the suntan.
You can see this. You can see her suntan.
See that?
She's
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a lady on a nude beach. But after that,
Can you be a lady on a nude beach?
of course you can.
Of course you can.
Of course you can. So after the pick guard came off, she just thinned out,
Yeah,
So, and if you notice that same thing about, you mentioned Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson doesn't have a pick guard.
Nope.
And so that guitar is named Trigger.
Yep.
That's how he got the holes, is from his picks. You can tell where he strums the guitar.
Another prime example is Ken Block from Sister Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an old Takamine that he plays, and you can see the bracing. He's completely taken it out of the bracing on it. It's insane. Sounds great, though. Sounds fabulous.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing the song. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about gear in the studio, because I want to know. I want to know the story. So what did you use in the studio?
Okay.
I'll go ahead and answer.
Go and answer that. Yeah, go ahead, man. It was just a Pod 1.0, line 6 from 2000. No, for real. I want to give Sean Gass props here. Sean Gass is the owner of the Digital Halo Studios in Aiken, South Carolina. Fabulous guy. You can't put a price.
Super talented guy.
You can't put a price on
Unbelievable.
the right producer, the right ear, the right room, the right gear. He's a gearhead, man. He's got just an incredible amount of gear, and he's dialed for the room. He built his house around his studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that he built a studio with a house on top.
That's exactly
like
what
that
he
was
did.
the idea.
So it's amazing. So
If you check out our Instagram, whiskey_run, there's a lot of photos from that studio. You can check out the gear that he has.
So getting back to the gear. Okay, so Sean has engineered us live at least 100 times.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we know. That's how we know.
That's how we know.
Okay.
So he has engineered us at least, it's been more than that. I mean seriously, but at least 100 times. He knows my style. He knows what I play. He knows what I like. I'm a very dark tone kind of guy.
Yes, you are.
Think very Warren Haynesy kind of thing is what I go for. Les Paul, but it's a lot of it my hands too. But he already had an idea, and we sat down and we talked about this record. And he said, man, first of all, I know your style and how you play. And I know what you play through. You're mainly a Dr. Z guy with a plexi style boutique pedals that were built by Joe Smith, another local guy in Georgia. And that's just, he said, I've got plenty of gear, and let's just kind of mess around with some things. But let me, I think I might know what you want, especially on this first song called The Weekend. That was the very first one that we recorded live for the record. And that particular day that you were there, I was playing through a Z-Rack, Dr. Z-Rack.
Yep.
Dimed.
Just everything.
I'm talking,
Everything.
when I say dimed,
I mean, just take your hand and just go.
I'm talking
Really?
dimed.
Yeah.
I was straight into the amp. That was the tone on this particular song. And it was thunderous. And
Well, what does one of those run you? What does a Z-Rack run?
probably $2,500.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he had an attenuator on it, and he used that for a little bit too through a 212 Dr. Z cabinet.
Right.
And the majority of that song was that Z-Rack dimed through my Les Paul in my fingers, and it came out beautifully. When we got to the lead, I wanted a little bit of compression, and I wanted a little bit of a Klon type of feel that I hate the word transparent overdrive. It just drives me
clear
crazy.
and open.
It is a very clear and open. It sounds like an amp, but it hits it on the front end just a little bit harder.
Yep.
It gives it a little bit more breakup.
Yeah.
And he kind of through some Axe effects, part of a Friedman high gain amp for my lead side of it. So he added some of that, some heavier compression, the Klon style through the Z-Rack, man, and it would rip your head off.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for people to hear that song, The Weekend, on that EP, and you'll hear exactly what I just described. It's a very milky, creamy, slight delay. You hear it, it's got some compression, but it just rips your head completely off of your body.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear that.
And if you were standing in that room, you would not be able to hear today.
Yeah. Thank
was
God
that-
there were like 3 sets of doors between us.
Right.
It was that loud.
It was that loud.
But however, so the rest of the record, there's some other tones and stuff on there. There's a very Mike Campbell-y kind of thing. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He's a big influence of mine. Campbell is one of the best guitar players. I was, man, it was really just kind of I heard different things for different songs, and I wanted to take different concepts. But he has a plethora of amps, man.
And the studio is the perfect place to do that kind of thing.
It really is.
So, for instance, like between the live rig and the studio, you can have that kind of flexibility where you're like, I want this tone for this song, and I want this tone for that song, right? Whereas in a live setting, you need a workhorse that can take all kinds of tone, right? And I'm sure Jay can field that better than me.
And I appreciate you going there because that's where this leads into this. He knows what kind of tone that I use. He knows the type of tone that I like. So it was just an inflection through his gear of what I sound like. So live, and we've played the song live, full band, and it was very faithful to that recording.
No, that's awesome.
So we're staying true to ourselves and our own tone versus let me go try something way off the cuff that we can't recreate live. That wasn't the feel of what we wanted to go through because we didn't want to put something out that we couldn't recreate or a tone that we couldn't match.
Right.
And that's what we were going for.
To definitely sidestep that. That's a cautionary tale. Don't do anything in the studio that you can't do live.
Yeah.
Because people will be like,
What is that?
this song sounds like a stripped down.
Where are all those gospel singers you had on there? Where are those gospel singers?
They don't have a Hammond in their band?
Yeah,
What?
wait a minute.
Right.
Hammond B3 going.
Yeah.
I know.
And that would we wanted to write a very organic record, and we did. It was, we were very passionate about what the songs were about, and the approach that we took, and all of us contribute to it, the whole band.
Right.
We all had our parts, and you got to see and experience some of that. So we're excited about it coming out, man. We really are.
No, that's super fun. When we know more about that, and when they finally make their website, we'll give you that website and that information.
Absolutely. But you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
But not Twitter because I don't like Twitter.
We are on Twitter.
We are, but we don't use it.
We don't use it that much.
You just tie your Instagram to it. We can talk about that.
Yeah, we can show you how to use your Twitter
These guys are
without
the
using your
social
Twitter.
media ninjas.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. I keep trying to tell people this, and especially in the music side of life, is that is the next vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about making an EPK, an electronic press kit earlier. That has changed now. You still got to put like the kid coming up playing in a punk band in high school still has to put flyers on cars. You cannot, or however is legal in your area. You cannot, or illegal. You can't get around the hustle. You have to still do the hustle to get it out there. However, part of that hustle has to be the social media side of everything and learning it. And if you don't learn it, you're going to be giving up a big piece of who you can reach.
Right. For instance, there's a place we're playing, or we played this past weekend. right? The guy texted me and was like, I don't see an event for the show.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, hey, I'm working on it right now as we speak. It's weird that you should text me that.
However, it wasn't enough time.
It wasn't enough time. So ideally, you don't, and that's a timing thing too. Like, don't make your event 3 weeks before it happens.
Right.
Because people will be like, oh, cool, yeah. And then
Should be more than a couple hours before, though.
It should
Just
be.
saying.
It should be.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
She is giving them
But I would say if
an
you're
intentional
planning on-
rib for that.
Of course.
Yeah, she is.
Of course.
I would say if your show is on Friday or Saturday, you should have the event page up and circulating by Monday night. Because no one's going to pay attention to it if the event is not that weekend.
Well, plus what if they got to get a sitter or they're like making plans like, do I want to go out this weekend? What's going on?
I may be driving through Charleston. I might want to stop and
Yeah.
I might be around.
I might definitely wanted to. Yes.
So this past weekend we were playing in North Charleston.
We did stalk your social media to see if you were playing anywhere, and there was nothing.
We did. We were on a road trip.
Jay totally dropped the ball on that. How dare you, sir?
Wow. It's all my fault.
Yeah. We do. I mean, we're guilty of that. Lives get busy.
Yep.
And we both have other jobs and multiple jobs, and but we also play music, and you just have to. It's all about time management, I think, and
But boys and girls, give at least a week or two. Most of the time.
Yeah.
As far as
yeah.
any kind of social media.
The upcoming weekend is
Absolutely.
definitely that is a
Yeah.
thing.
And
for sure.
and I'm gonna be honest. My personal page has thousands and thousands of people, and it just continuously scrolls and scrolls. It just continuously moves. I don't really see anything that anybody ever does. So we try to do it numerous times at different times. Is there a right time or wrong time? I don't know, man. There maybe there is.
There is.
Maybe we need to spend some more time. I know there is.
there
And
is.
you guys are the social media ninjas. That should be part of your name. Social media ninjas.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would think that it should be, after
Research
the previous
based.
weekend, and so it's for the weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Because I think if someone sends me an event and it's 3
month
weeks
away.
off, I'm like, so I'm not going to think about it.
Sometimes I get my phone out if it's important and put it in there, but normally I don't.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to hear one more song.
Cool.
It's 10 till.
One more
Let's do
song.
one more
10 till?
song.
One more song?
And we'll do another song.
Are we strict to 1 hour?
and
Are
then
we just gonna keep
we
going?
try to keep it to that just
cool.
for
Okay. Yeah.
for everybody else's time. Is there any questions in there that we need to get to?
David Plunkett is kind of taking care of all the questions that
Oh,
are
wow.
fielded towards the band.
Okay, so he's taking.
I have a
oh.
nice moderator in there, and he's
Okay.
just nailing
All right,
it.
Thanks, Dave.
Giving
Yeah.
all the secrets away behind the scenes,
I
too.
bet,
And
I bet he is.
I bet he is.
I bet he
he's
is.
He's like, give me your cell number.
Yeah. What song do you want to do, buddy?
Do you want to do the weekend? Since we were talking about that earlier?
We can if you want
Yeah.
to.
That's going to do the pss, pss.
Oh
Y'all need to do the psst, psst.
it's the first for me.
I need a
Oh yeah,
tune.
I got a tune too.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll keep you muted and you can tune.
Okay, awesome, man, awesome. Any
And
more
we'll
questions
chat.
there before?
Any
And
other
if we
questions?
go overtime because of your tuning instability, then we'll.
Okay.
That's no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, these things are pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought a guitar today.
What did you get?
Cole Clark, a Fat Lady 2.
Did you buy from somebody I know?
No, I
You
bought
did
it
not.
from Guitar Center in Queens, New York.
Oh my gosh, dude, that guitar is that is my favorite. It
I
has
know.
the
We're hoping.
best.
We're hoping for
We're
it to
hoping
be
for
something really bad,
It-
real sweet.
Well, okay,
I was gonna
so
say bad.
well,
my wife was like, I brought this out, and she was
"Oh my
like,
gosh."
oh my god, what happened to your guitar? With the hole, and she was like, do you need a
And
new
you were like,
guitar?
"Yes."
And I was like, I absolutely need a new guitar.
that's the greatest.
Tools of the trade, honey.
Yeah.
The Cole Clark is so cool because it has 3 pickups in it,
Yeah.
and it's just.
beast.
The reason I asked about that is because Will McCraney plays one.
Oh, well,
And-
Will is the one I borrowed one from him, and
You loved it.
I loved it. I mean, super lightweight, sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I was researching them, and I read about the 3 mic pickup thing,
Yes.
and it's just super dynamic. And I love those types of guitars. Just the boutique things that have the street cred.
Yep.
It's not like what was like Ben and Hollings or something.
Yeah.
There are your tried and true brands, obviously, but even those, you can get a lemon. I mean, you can get a lemon J45. You can get a lemon J100.
Yep.
But with Cole Clark's, at least you can kind of be satisfied that every single guitar is still made by hand.
Yep.
And the quality, the QC.
The quality is there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're in tune now.
All right.
So I'm really excited about that, and I ponied up the extra $20 for it to come in tomorrow. So,
Nice.
I'm excited. New guitar day tomorrow.
That is exciting.
All right, this song's called The Weekend. It is also going to be on our EP. Turn it up, turn me on again. You only ever call me when you're drunk on the weekend. Screaming my name, singing too loud, bitching all the time like a weekend crowd. Turn it up, turn me on again. Turn it up, turn me on again. I don't know where I'm going, only know where I've been. To do it all without you, girl, it don't seem fair. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask me why. You only act this way when you're with your friends and when you cry. Turn it up, turn me on again. You only ever call me when you're drunk on the weekend. Screaming my name, singing too loud, bitching all the time like the weekend crowd. Turn it up, turn me on again. Turn it up, turn me on again. Oh, yeah. Turn it up, turn me on again. You only ever call me when you're drunk on the weekend. Screaming my name, singing too loud, bitching all the time at the weekend crowd. Turn it up, turn me on again. Turn it up, turn me on again. Screaming my name, singing too loud, bitching all the time at the weekend crowd. Turn it up, turn me on again. Oh, turn it up, turn me on again. Oh, yeah. That's that.
That was it.
By the way, after you did the last song, Matt Acosta was listening to, and
Oh,
he
he
was
was?
like, "Nice fade, guys."
Nice.
Matt Acosta. Actually, my first band was with Matt Acosta.
Nice.
It was.
Really?
Yeah, I taught him his first chords on guitar.
Isn't that amazing?
Just like Dwayne Brock taught me
Really?
my first chord.
That is insane tonight, y'all. I did
So,
not know that.
What's really insane about that, actually, for those of you that are listening worldwide, we're talking about some local people here, but those four, so you look at those four people, you look at you two, and you look at Dwayne, and you look at Matt, all play wildly different styles.
Oh, yeah.
But
Completely
we all start with the same 7 chords.
But Matt, let me make the disclaimer that Matt is a far better guitarist than I am.
He's dude's
insane.
everything
Yeah,
he touches
Matt's
turns
got a
to
great,
Matt
yeah.
is
Yeah.
insane.
Awesome.
He's
sick.
incredible.
I need to go look him up, Matt Acosta.
Yep.
Does he just go by Acosta?
He does
Yeah,
go
he
by
does.
Acosta.
Acosta.
Yeah.
Yep.
So any last questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we got any
Everybody tied up?
last things? I think what our problem is we blew up our cheap headphone.
I don't think they can hear what we hear. So
Oh, really?
that's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm just,
Yeah, that's good.
blown
I'm
up
just
too.
ignoring it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
that was a good call because that's
Sorry
it's
about
not
that.
in his
It
head.
sounds fantastic in my head.
Oh, of course.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Oh, that's great.
my new headphone amp is blown up.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we killed it, man.
Sorry,
No big deal. We'll just get a new
Sorry.
one.
Lesson learned. It's
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Don't cheap out on gear that you have to depend
Yeah,
on.
that's
I mean,
the truth.
really, that's really what it comes down to because I needed it fast for
Right.
this.
Yeah.
And nope.
And we
So-
killed it.
Yeah,
Matt
well,
said
you
you
don't
kicked
know.
him out of the band.
Did I?
I don't know. That's what he
so
said.
funny.
Man.
I
So
didn't kick Dwayne out of my band. And we were never in a band.
where
Matt is such a
yeah.
gentle soul.
Yes.
he is.
Go
Such
ahead,
a
brother.
sweet
I'm
boy.
actually hanging out with him tomorrow.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep. Where can we see and hear all of your social medias and YouTubes and all that stuff?
On Facebook, look us up, Whiskey Run. There's a big, I get on the picture, it's a WR, like in lights,
Yep.
right? That's us. We're based in Augusta, Georgia. On Instagram, we are at whiskey_run.
Awesome.
Like we're out of whiskey. Let's go make a whiskey run.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys coming, not just for, hanging out and all that, but one of the goals of Dylan Talks Tone lately is really to inspire people to say, yeah, these are the questions that I'm going to come up against. I have some songs I want to play. This is what I want to do. And to not be afraid, but to know what to do to be ready, at the same time. And so just hearing from some experience, and I knew you guys wouldn't be, some people can be kind of elitist about this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing it for so long and blah, blah, blah.
Sure, yeah.
But you guys have, like you say, you go up and down and you
do.
learn it all. And so I really appreciate your approach to the business side of it, as well as, you're fantastic musicians as well.
Thank you,
So
Thanks, man.
thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And
Can I say one more thing?
yes, you can
Right.
say many more things.
You need to have the 5 Ps, right?
What are the 5 Ps?
The 5 Ps are prior planning prevents poor performance.
That's a good one.
That's a
Whoa.
Steve
That-
Swinson quote.
That is a good one.
Steve Swinson.
Steve Swinson.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Any last minute
Live your life
words
by
over
that.
there?
There's a last minute question, but I don't know if he's got time to answer it, depending on what
Let's do
the.
it fast.
What
I
is
mean,
it?
if
Let's go.
if Dave Plunkett's asking, maybe we need to know why no acoustic amp on stage.
Well, Dave bought me this this California Blonde,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then I plugged it
SWR.
in because I was going to bring it to a show, and it didn't work. And I have not plugged it in again since that time.
Trash.
Nice.
No, it's good product.
Yeah,
really
it is.
a good product.
It's a great product.
It's
I
a
haven't.
great product.
I just haven't spent the time with it. That's all.
Yep.
And it's really big and it's heavy.
Yes, it just adds space,
Yeah,
especially
and
if you go through a
We
good
can
compressor.
barely fit everything in
Yeah.
our little trailer.
If your
So-
engineer, if you trust your engineer, and that's something you got to put a lot of faith in. If you trust him, he's going to make you sound good because he doesn't.
Yeah.
He wants to reflect him
Mhm.
sounding good. So
Yeah,
thank you,
makes total
Dylan.
sense.
We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This
Yeah,
has
thank
been
you guys
great.
for
This has
having
been
us.
fun.
This has been awesome. Thank you very much.
And for everybody else who is listening to us this week, I'll put myself in a picture for just a minute. I've not been in it all night. Check us out on the YouTubes on youtube.com/Dylan Talks Tone and on facebook.com/Dylan Talks Tone. Actually, pretty much everywhere at Dylan Talks Tone. And until next week, I hope to see you on the internets.